Hello and welcome to this Warno 1v1 game played on Urban Frontlines between the current rank 1 player, Hippie, and I'm going up against Skate, who's currently rank 3 or 4. I think it's 3. This is Urban Frontlines. The reason I wanted to cover this game, right, so Skate has something like 230 games as third armored. It's basically the only div he plays, but before that he played 119Y. So he switched to a weaker div, which is pretty respectable. And there's a lot of people saying, "Oh, third armored's got no options on Urban Frontlines." Or they say, if you're a tank div on Urban Frontlines, you got no options, everything's awful, you might as well just surrender. And yeah, it should be taken out of rotation. I've heard that a lot because it's too unfair for the armored div. So here's an armored div. Here is the best armored heavy tank div player, the best third armored player in the world, right? 230 games in a row as third armored. At least I'm pretty sure they are. Anyway, and he's going up against Canada, first Canada, really uninspired divisional emblem there, and instead of just fixing it, because that's their actual divisional emblem, instead of fixing it, they're just like, oh, we're hyper realistic in this game where you get to command the first Canadian division in a World War III scenario in 1989. So anyway, let's have a look at the best third armored players in the world's deployment. So he uses these M150s, which are basic TOW 1 launchers. They get smoke now, which actually makes them a lot better. And yeah, he's sending one into the forest on the side. And then for the left here, he's got a Fireteam 84, one M2A2 Bradley with a Dragon 2 in it. So these actually have 5 armor. Makes them kind of hard to kill. Then he's just putting a lot of people in Foxtrot. So Engineers Flash, Fireteam 84, Engineers CEV, and that's at 1 vet and 2 Pivads. So very concerned with Foxtrot. And then a CV for Golf Foxtrot and another CV for Hotel India. So he's not bothering with Charlie. Scouts going up to this building. Usually you'd go here, right? But he's going to this building and he's actually turned the gun off on this. Don't know if that was on purpose. Well, yeah, because he's fast pathed it here, so he's done that on purpose. I'm not sure what the consequences of this position where you can't really see anything. And then a Bradley CFV going to here, which is very normal to stop people from pushing this way. Another M150, just for the flanks. You see how far back it is, just in case I sneak something this way. And then, yeah, Stinger and a Fireteam Dragon. So as you can see, a very defensive opener, which is how you have to play Third Armored, because they have the best late game in the game, but their early game is weak. Which I think is absolutely fine. It makes a lot of sense. Canada, people are still figuring out, including myself. I believe this was my 3rd ever game as Canada. It might have been my 4th. I've played it a bit more since then. I actually think it's a reasonably strong division. I do think it has the advantage on this map because it's got way more infantry and there's lots of buildings and stuff, right? So that seems sensible. But there are a few idiosyncrasies that we'll see. So I'm worried about him sneaking around the side as well, because we've played a few times now. There's a whole live stream of just me playing him over and over and over again, and he just did kind of the same thing every time, which was to try and sneak stuff through my backlight, which is fair enough. I mean, you should try and do that. I should try and do it more as well. I used to be infamous for doing it, and then I just sort of stopped because I couldn't be bothered. But no, it's really difficult to deal with, and therefore you should do it. So yeah, I've got 2 of these cheapo Lynxes, 35 points for very good optics and smoke. I do think this is better because it's got a tow, but my optics are better, right? And my stealth is actually better. And my speed is actually a little bit better, so, and I'm amphibious. But yeah, the ATGM is very useful, right? Then I've got 2 of actually what is exactly the same CV. It's just got a different name. Mine's called the Queen Mary because Canadians are weird. And it must be all Scottish or something. So CV for Echo and then a CV for Delta Bravo Alpha. So yeah, the Lynxes, Mech Recce going to here. Okay, so a Recce GSR. So this is just recon with ground surveillance radar. Very small squad, so it's quite cheap for the ground surveillance radar, but it's only 3 guys. But it does have AT, and it has 4 laws, even though there's 3 of them. So somebody's bringing 2 there. So yeah, I'm just putting that there because that's the usual spot. And then the mech recce, which is an 8-man squad. I bring about 1 vet. They go in here. So I don't have any airborne forward deployment either. So that is a disadvantage of Canada. Like, between these 2 divs, it's hard to say which one's better overall. I certainly do think I have the advantage on this map because I get more infantry. But on something like Vertigo, you'd have a massive advantage over me, basically. But we're not on Vertigo, we're on Urban Frontlines Duel. So this is just a helicopter with a minigun, 45 points. Mech recce to here in case he sneaks through this way. Ito for the far right. Ito for here, because I figured he might do some push here. So yeah, this can shoot down that road. And yeah, big blob for mid, so supply. Mortar for smoke, you see that's unloading here. You should use them behind the buildings because the bullet will phase through the building and it actually makes it really hard to spot, particularly if it's a white building because the tracer's white. So you just something to keep in mind. Then yeah, mech CP escort. So these are 11 guys with only 1 machine gun. The 2 SMGs make them kind of pants at max range, right? But yeah, they're 11 guys, so that's why I bring them. Tow 2 for back here, so it could shoot down this road. Skyguard AA, so this is like a towed AA gun, but it's actually kind of expensive because it's got radar on it. So it's not, it is good against infantry, but it's not cost effective against infantry because it's 60 points, so you can just buy an infantry. So you can buy this mech CPS got, but it's still good against infantry, and I was worried that he would, basically I was really worried that he would do a helicopter opener. So 1 recon helo, 1 Apache, 1 Eagle. It's a really good way to gain early ground as 3rd armored. But he doesn't play it that way, I guess. Bot rifles Eric, so these guys, we're going to have a big conversation about these guys over the course of the game. Really high pen. The range is better than a regular rocket launcher, but there are only 6 guys and you only get like 5 of them or something. Yeah, I think it's 5 at 1 vet. So yeah, 2 of those, a Leopard 1, an ADATS, so this thing is really good, but it's really expensive. And you see I put it there so it could shoot down this road. And yeah, the CV, which we spoke about. So let's see what happens. Right, so they're off, and it's time for me to thank the generous channel joiners. Generously joiner in the channel. They get their names on the screen, they get the videos early, they get members exclusive videos. One joined at the lowest levels worth 2,000 views, so if you're feeling bad about your ad block. It's a great way to support the channel. I'm still trying to finish off my PhD. My final exam is in, my thesis defense is in October. So yeah, just sort of waiting on that, preparing on that. And yeah, my funding ran out ages ago, so yeah, helicopter, I had to land this because I saw this Phantom and then I sort of took it off again. You'll note that he's actually switched off this missile for some reason. I'm not sure why. Does he not want to shoot this? Weird. I guess he's concerned that basically, so he could use the guns to kill this, but if he fires the missile, then he would be worse in a fight. So I fire the ADATS at him, it misses, but because he's going parallel to the direction of the missile, he takes like very high suppression from that. So 1 more of those and he'll be routed. Whereas if he was going perpendicular to the missile, he would take less suppression. But yeah, it was smart of him to buy that because my standards, this is the issue with me uploading all my videos, right? Obviously it keeps the lights on, and I am thankful for that. But people know what I'm going to do, and my standard Canadian opener is to open 1 rocket plane with this helo, and then just whack them with the rocket plane. So like this would die, for example, or this would die. It doesn't actually, the rockets don't actually kill like a 8 HP wheeled transport in 1 pass. I don't know about 6 HP wheeled transport. 4 HP wheeled transport they definitely get. Anyway, so he's opened super defensively, and you'll notice where he's put his guys. So he thinks I might rush India, and he thinks I'm going to push Foxtrot because I'm the div with all the infantry, so it kind of makes sense for me to push Foxtrot. So that's where he's actually put most of his guys, and you'll note that he's just kind of given up on mid. He's not bothered about it. So this it's actually on the wrong side of the building, so it doesn't benefit from what I said. But it's always worth getting a mortar for smoke. You'll see that he has 2 machine guns, I have 2 machine guns, but building cover's better than forest cover. in terms of the amount of damage resistance. In terms of stealth, it's the same now. It used to be different, but they made them the same, which I don't think it was a good idea to increase forest stealth, basically, because that's what they did. Anyway, these engineers' flash are actually pretty good. As I found out over the course of this game. So he runs double engineer, and these engineers flash. Like, if they're micro... The issue with them is they've only got 5 HP, but if you micro them well, you know, as you can see, he just fired all his flash. And, well, I had to run away, basically. If I stayed in this building, it would keep hurting me because of the fire. I'm pretty sure. Or at least it would keep suppressing me. Anyway, so he's just bought an arty piece because basically the way Skate plays... I was going to say the way he plays Third Army, he doesn't really play much else. The way he plays is he just plays super slow. So the idea is to outtrade me, and do a big push at the end, which this division is kind of built to do. That's kind of the whole point of it. Its late game is the best in the game. The M1A1H Abrams, right? And it does have good tools to keep up that firepower. So he gets better artillery than me, for example. My artillery has to constantly move. Something like this CEV, if microed well, which is easier said than done, is good at bursting down targets, because it would just immediately do 3.2 damage, and it ignores cover. So, yeah, and it has lots of expensive units, so the idea is to do that. On the flip side, what I should do is push the whole map, basically, but this is only like my third or fourth game as Canada, and so I'm not very clued in. I'm not very good at it, so I'm like, what should I buy? Stuff like that. I don't know what to buy. But we are sitting on a +1. Just worth noting that games of Warno are 40 minutes. So the Sky Guard shoots in there, and so the way I'm thinking is I just have to make sure I don't lose the trades for the next 40 minutes, and then when his big push comes, obviously it should be before 40 minutes or he'll lose. When his big push comes, then I will, I should be in a good spot. So I've lost a lot of games to this kind of strategy. You know, he's not the only one who practices it. Like, I haven't played against T-Man in a while, but he was kind of infamous for doing a similar thing, where he just kind of plays for kills. Tanner as well, P. Yuri Tanner. But yeah, I think... You know, then these are all very good players, so it is a viable strategy. So we got a few kills there. I just wish there was kind of a graph for kills, right? KD. But yeah, this is something that's really easy to artillery because it goes so slowly. And I should have moved it, really. Yeah, my RT's towed. It is cheaper, but it's got less range, so the dispersion isn't as good. And it's towed, so you have to sit there microing it the whole game, which is really kind of annoying. So I'm just like, I'm on a +1. I just need to trade. Trade. Don't overextend. Don't make any dumb mistakes. That's really difficult for me to do, because at the same time, if I just sit there and let him build up, I'm gonna lose. So I have to actively try and kill his guys, basically. That was my plan. But if I was a bit more intelligent about it, I should have done like a push here. So, you know, a few guys here, but then push here as well. Establish up to here, and then, you know, just like try and spread him out, basically. So he's going on... So he switched it up and just sort of randomly went for this building. The other issue is, like, so the TOW 2 will one-shot this, so I'm trying to survive trades without heavy tanks, and heavy tanks are sort of how you trade effectively, right? Because they take a punching, so you can get your 2 shots in to kill whatever, and then you survive and you run away. Sadly, the javelin misses there. And you see smoke in this, so we've got some kills. I don't actually think we've lost any units yet. Like, because he was going to shoot this, but he changed his mind. He went for this because he assumed there'd be somebody there. But the reason there's nobody there is because that's a really obvious place to be. So it works both ways, right? And I'm just trying to build up my defensive position. From seeing all these units, it was clear to me that he wants to attack Alpha. And so that's why I'm defending Alpha. The way I see it, I'm on a +1. Because if I start doing something zany over here, my micro basically is just not good enough, especially with a division that I don't know how to play. So you see he's blind firing again. He assumes there's somebody in here, but actually there's not. But yeah, if you don't have targets, you should do it, right? You should do stuff. So you see I bought my arty, and it's way cheaper, but it's just got like really wide dispersion. So you see that, like, look at that circle. I'm not hitting anything. So I need corrected shot, and I need to be quite close. But in these 40-minute games, having to constantly move and pack and unpack these constantly is really debilitating. So you see the power of the javelin here. We do actually hit him, and then he kills us. So at least we hit him, I guess. But there you go. I think that was my first loss, maybe. So I'm trying to trade, but I'm bad, right? So like these are supposed to be in the buildings. Also, you know, if you play the same division 230 times in a row or whatever, you can sort of not have to think very much. He'll have played this exact... Well, I don't know about this matchup, because this div has just come out, actually. But he's definitely played this map as this div on this side before, do you know what I mean? Several times, so you'll kind of know. I suppose me being on a new div does kind of make it a bit harder for him, because he doesn't know what I'm going to do. But obviously it's more of a disadvantage for me, because I can play my div less good. Anyway, so you see the arty doing work, the mortar to... So I guess he assumes I have... Well, I do have somebody there, right? But yeah, that hog is a really big issue, and it just comes down to the micro, right? So my AA is like, you know, these sky guards. So yeah, if I can catch him out... But look at how he uses the LOS. But then he fucks up and he... So he was safe there, whatever he'd done there, but he kept moving, and they just walked into 3 of them. So now I'm moving them after they fire, because I figured that's a great target for arty, and I know his arty's up now because it's been hitting all this. And we're still on that +1. I've bought the second arty piece now, and I'm trying to just go for the low HP infantry squads. So I hit him, immediate attempt to relocate, and I miss because, you know, the dispersion's kind of high, right? So that's the issue. And like something like this, I basically can't kill. Unless he overextends, I basically can't kill it. Anyway, the ADATS has 60% accuracy, but sadly we did a bit of missing there. And then, so he's going for where the Skyguard was. It's a shame I didn't hit that, actually. And I should have really moved this, because that is... okay, so he sees this moving, and he's predicted in the time I aim with my one veterancy... 23 seconds. Yeah, because I'm just going into this forest, so he got that right. So his arty's starting... Well, it's not done it yet, but his arty's starting to rack up the kills. In the meantime, I'm just like, okay, so he's slowly going to move through here, so I need defense here because of the armor, and I need guys in here, and I need to shoot him across from here. And yeah, I have this tendency that when I'm playing against like a player I know is really good, I play kind of passively. Something Lathan's pointed out a long time ago. And that's because it works, so, you know... But yeah, look, these toe 2s, man. I mean, it's a good... You know, I guess I miss with my ADATS, he misses with his toe 2, right? It's a good... But if it hits me, I'm dead. So it's very unforgiving. So you're trying to out-trade somebody who... So, like, if this shot that, it would be fine. Well, it wouldn't be fine, it would survive, because it's got 5 armor, right? And this is a Leopard 1 with... 16 pen at max range. But if I hit him, he's fine. So it's kind of difficult. And yeah, he's just kind of zoning me out here. I'm trying to shoot him across, but the Leopard 1s, the hog took... Oh, the hog got hit by arty, because I knew it was... I saw it land there, and I had recon like around here at some point before all this smoke, so I guess I knew it was there. Well, I mean, I must have done. So anyway, you see he's moved up here. The dragons are starting to get kills. He's got like a lot of infantry there. And he's just playing it super slow. Sadly, that missed, because it would have been a side shot, and it would have forced it back. It wouldn't have killed it, but it would have forced it back, and that's very important. So you see, I've basically just got this massive semicircle here, and I'm currently trying to shore up this side. I guess I can change my mind. But yeah, after something shoots, I have to move it for everything. But he really wants these sky guards. I don't know how he sees that one, but yeah, this, I knew it was here because I saw it come up, but I can't see it to shoot it. An attack position in this game for anything other than artillery is useless, because the splash values are so low that you will just not do any damage, unlike Broken Arrow, where if you it can work on like individual buildings or whatever. But you see, I'm losing a lot of guys here. So he's pushing this. So I'm like, okay, I should try and counter push this. But no, actually, he's got more here than me. And yeah, he's smoking off this leopard, so it can't shoot. So that's good smoke play from him. I brought these pioneers in, but like this isn't a road. This is a railway line. So it brings it out in front where his tanks can one-shot it and so on. So that's not ideal. Just trying to whittle down his guys while losing the minimum myself. You'll notice that I'm not buying any air, and that's because in this circumstance, yeah, so you see the Leopard 1, you know, obviously it's not going to win, it's way cheaper, but it's just, unless you react straight away, you're going to lose loads of them, because like this will one-shot that. I've got 20 different things to look at, so the reason this survived is because this smoke blocked that. So his own Bradley blocked him there. And these all have to move after they shoot. But yeah, another Leopard 1 goes down to the M1A1. And so that's the advantage of heavy tanks. Like, they are viable. I hear a lot of complaining where it's like, they're not viable. They're just harder to use. They are harder to use because if your micro isn't on point and the plane just comes and kills you, then, you know, you are wrecked. Whereas medium tanks are kind of easier to play in that if you lose one, it's not as big a deal. But they're harder to play in that you've got more stuff to move, which is why everybody blobs stuff, because it's... So yeah, you see I'm losing stuff here because I'm not paying enough attention. Because it's easier to just blob stuff, because then you've only got basically one unit to control rather than 5. But yeah, so I'm trying to abuse the side shots, because that's the only way I can kill his stuff. You'll notice like his important items are not dying. I did get one Bradley. And yeah, so we saw him moving. I'm trying to shoot across here. Although, well, I mean, it was almost fortuitous, I suppose. But then we missed that one, and then he vanishes because, oh, where could he be? So I start shooting him with my small arms. And yeah, this fire team dragon, this isn't a good spot. So we get the scouts, but I didn't actually realize I'd got him. In the meantime, I'm trying to use the arty, right? So trying to arty the Bradley, but just moves, really. So I should be shooting this infantry. And at least I'm dealing chip damage, so he has to heal it up. But yeah, the reason I'm not buying air is because it's just a bait. Like, it's a huge bait. If you buy air into somebody who's doing this, there's always going to be a bunch of AA behind it, because they want you to buy the plane. They want to outtrade you. That's the whole point of the strategy. But what I should be doing is just kind of pressuring this a little bit, forcing him to invest more guys here, and, you know, pushing these guys up. Like, there's nobody here. It's just I'm worried about, like, a helicopter coming and me not having the micro, which is why I've got some javelins here. I got probably, well, I've got a lot of AA, but I lost all those, I lost 2 of the sky guards, right? So, yeah, he's trying to... The other thing I noticed in this game was he basically spent all game trying to snipe 2 things. The Erics and the ADATs. So, as you can see, there's a bunch of units shooting there, but he's going for the Erics. Because this is one of the few things that can actually, like, one-shot his tanks. Not from the front, but if I get a side shot on that, he's dead. And it will deal a lot of damage on the front. So yeah, he's trying to focus these down, and I wasn't doing a very good job of keeping them alive, to be honest. Like, this ADAS is still here, like, but I suppose that could have been moved over to here, because it's got 2,800 meters ground range. But yeah, 25 pen is enough to one-shot 11 armor. It's enough to one-shot 11 armor. And so 26 is enough to one-shot 12 armor, which should be an M60. But the main thing is, like, if you get a side shot with this, you're just dead. And it would one-shot a Bradley, for example. So, sadly, this gets spotted because it wasn't in the building, I guess. Well, he's got recon there. And the Eric's actually misses, which is quite surprising. The Skyguard fired, like, 2 rounds and stunned it, but didn't kill it. But I've got a bunch of ATGMs here, and I've got a bunch more here. You see I've put the ADATs here now. But I'm not quite in range. You see, that's the Hellfire one. I'm focusing the AA because it's not got much top armor, and it's expensive. There you go, side oh, okay, he turned into it. So that was a front shot with the ADATs, and you see that it dealt 4 damage there. And then he buys the MLRS cluster, so this is also viable in 1v1, if the best 3rd armored player in the universe is using it, right? He switches up his smoke mortars to smoke these, and you'll notice that I'm moving them, right? He's pinged here. I'm not there. I moved it. And thankfully we didn't lose too much there because he's splitting the volleys. But yeah, I moved this after I saw that cluster coming because I figured, oh, he's going to try shooting this now. And lo and behold, right. So I overbought on these tanks, really. Well, I mean, no, I do need him for if his breakthrough happens, but yeah. So then he swings this over because I guess he assumed he got the ADATs, but it's still alive. The thing is, you'll note that he's incrementing his recon forwards and so on. I'm killing some of it, but he is gaining ground everywhere, basically. And there's still 22 minutes left. This supply is like a 2,000 supply, so that was not very intelligent of me. Thankfully, it does make it at the cost of the Skyguard. And yeah, so I think he saw this, so he moved it. And he's going for... So he thinks it's a vehicle ATGM there, but actually it's infantry ones, vehicle ones here. And yeah, I'm just trying to not feed. That's the... Because I'm on a +1. So I figure as long as I don't feed... But you'll notice he's getting closer and closer. And he figured this was empty because of the MLRS, but I had one on the corner there. But... So we actually missed that. If we had hit that, it would have actually probably... It would have killed him. No, it wouldn't. He's got 8 side armor. It would deal like 8 damage or something. So you see, I'm like, okay, Leopard 1s, but they can't even shoot him because his armor's so high that I actually can't shoot. They just stay on hold fire. So you see and what he's doing here is he's double shotting them because I can survive 1 hit from him. He can survive about 4 hits from me, but he's getting them both to shoot the same target, intentionally or otherwise, because then I don't have time to react because both the shots come out at the same time. So I lose that trade. And this is the issue with playing against this kind of division, that the way the game is being played benefits him. So he's got more RT now. He should put the CV next to it, really. There's no reason for this CV not to be next to that. But in the meantime, you know, he is struggling to break through because I've just got... because it's taking him so long, I've just got loads of units. So the main thing is to not lose the trades. Sadly, you know, Javelin they're shooting, but it's just very, very difficult to pay attention to everything. So like this 2,000 supply there, obviously not something you want right on the front lines. The Erics is... so I'm trying to get these up here, but I didn't realise he could sort of shoot through that gap. So Javelin shoots, sadly misses, because you generally just don't get a second chance, because he's just going to run off now. So it's... Anyway, these are those AT planes. So the issue Canada has is that its anti-tank planes are kind of bad. So we lose 2,000 supply there, which is a big problem. So I should have been safer with that. And yeah, the ADATS is shooting, and so the first one was a front shot, and then he showed his side armor to turn into here. And this thing shoots really, really fast missiles with very high pen. It's 200 points. But yeah, this is the cream of the crop of my units, right? This is my unicorn. And you see he's trying to... Okay. So he originally had this dead on, but I guess because of his scouts, he probably saw this reverse into there and figured I was all in here. And the ADATS was he probably thought the ADATS was in there as well, even though it's a bit further forwards, because of where the missile came from. That's my assumption anyway. So, yeah. He's... at this point, like, he is trying to pressure mid now, and so I've made a big overcommitment here. And this is the other issue, right, that he sort of has the initiative in terms of where to attack in this kind of setup. So he is pressuring mid, but I do have guys. It's just these Leopard 1s aren't useful, because they can only do stuff if he gets, like, right up close to me, and then we're in knife fighting range, right? Otherwise, you know, they can sort of shoot at IFVs, and the IFVs can pull back. So he's using his arty there to kill the Leopard 1s, and the M1A1s in the forest and so on, in the urban forest. And yeah, the Pivads he's doing well with as well. I'm trying to move the Erics into a position where it can get some shots off on these guys, but I've got to be so careful with them, simply because there's 20 minutes left in this game, and, you know, he knows what he's doing. So he brings in the helos. I do try and respond to this. What you can do is, turn off auto cover. He's actually got it turned off by default, but I turn it off as and when I need it with a button, because you combine it to a hotkey. So yeah, the mortars They come in M113s if you want, this is why you should bring them in that, because it stops me from being counter-batteried, but all this stuff's self-propelled. So he can shoot, move, shoot, move, shoot, move. Whereas I have to load up and stuff, and so it's cutting down on my micro. And it is something that matters. Like I would prefer a self-propelled. Like, where's the Grizzly mortar? Anyway, I've still got Javelin left, and we do actually hit him there. But you see the ADATs, yeah, so the ADATs miss, and I immediately move it, because I'm like, well, that's just going to get hit. But look, the cluster, straight away trying to cluster that. He fires one round. And I guess it would have killed it if I hadn't moved. But yeah, this thing keeps missing, so he just moves that, and it's a shame, 2 misses. Could have got a kill on either one of those, because it's 6 HE, it would have killed, you know. But, you know, it happens, right? So yeah, I'm trying to hide behind these buildings, so it's really narrow. So he can actually shoot me there. I need to be like a centimetre to the right, but I move left instead. The Javelin, he goes for where the Javelin was. I did actually move it back a building, but it's still it's just right next to it, so it just dies anyway. So yeah, I moved it back 1 building. So I'm trying to move this up on the side. It's got a law thing, but yeah, I basically made a big mistake here. There's a couple too many leopards, and I should have pushed more people into this area. I should have pushed more people up here, because not only does it outflank this, but it stops him from pushing mid as easily, right? So I'm trying to get more inf in, but actually I'm sort of spawning it in the wrong place. So this I fired, I missed him, and then he got me with the CV. Although I think he missed with that as well, because I would have taken more damage otherwise. And yes, the Toad 2's finally been activated. But yeah, one thing I learned about those rockets, right? So this, I took out my deck afterwards. Some people say it's OP. This can't target an Abrams. Anyway, so I finally wise up and realised that I should attack here. But he's actually got quite a few units there, so it's not as easy as all that. And I have to look at all this. So yeah, he is blobbing a bit in the towns, so it gives me opportunities to get good hits off. I am losing guys, but he's losing guys, and so even though I don't kill those, so yeah, he still thinks there's somebody here. Even though I don't kill those, I guess I got the CV and the supply, and the rest is damage. Like, it's all worth it. Anyway, so I have the better plane, but he does actually hit me on his way out there. I've got 40% ECM. The ADATs, I think, was contributing. Oh yeah, it definitely was, because like, basically I should have moved this afterwards. We'll check back in. So I get a side shot on that, but I gotta hide. The Erics are dying, and the Erics are the important ones. So you see, like, so this thing can shoot the lighter armoured stuff, and it actually does quite a bit, but it can't shoot at heavy tanks on the front armour. At this point, I'm actually starting to run out of infantry, I think. And, you know, I mean, I deal 3 damage, he deals 5 damage, but hey, you know, his tank costs twice as much, so it makes sense. But yeah, you'll note that this isn't shooting that, and it's because it can't. So I'm trying to use the Erics to, like, flank and, you know, so on, but he brought up this, and you see the AT thing gets double hit there. Probably wouldn't have made it anyway. This mech rifle squad is bigger than the Dragon squad. I have the ADATs there too. His arty's going on the mech recce. I guess they must have, yeah, they fired around. So I'm just trying to use the infantry AT, but he's not losing his units. Anyway, so I think... No, okay. I mean, it said I was in the LOS there, but I totally fucked that up, basically. I should have used the smoke mortar and just smoke mortared this, and then I would have been fine. And so I lose the mech rifles there, I lose the Leopard here, and I lose the CV here. And this is basically, you know, his game plan, right? Trade for 20 minutes and then attack. I guess it's 20 minutes, right? Well, no, it's 25 minutes. So I'm just hiding behind all the buildings, get some tank hunters up, because the next thing, and the thing that's key in my mind, is that once he takes this, if I keep overstacking this, like sending people in and just losing them in the transports. So this, the AT plane, I'm trying to kill the tank, and it just won't shoot it. Because I think I briefly saw the CV, and I was like, what the hell's going on? So after this game, I took it out of my deck, because I was like, well, why would I want this? Right, it doesn't shoot the thing I need it to shoot, and, you know, what's the point of it? So I replaced it with the cluster one, because this game would have gone a lot better if I had the cluster one. So the Erics is dead. I could have hidden it behind the building. The Toad 2, I shouldn't be putting back in the building, really. I should be retreating it. But yeah, he's got me here. I do have a lot of units here. It's just my micro's not really good enough, and there's a HA Abrams here, so that I can't actually push into this. This is Bradleys and HAs and so on. So anyway, yeah, this AT plane. So I buy the cluster I've got, but that's not the good cluster. That's the bad cluster. Because a good cluster isn't in my deck, because I thought this would do it. Anyway, he just catches me on the end there with my 40% ECM plane, but that's life, I suppose. So that was a big shame. And yeah, this guy I shot a few times, and I just kept missing him, and he kept not dying. The ADATs got hit by like a bit of cluster stuff. The Eagle went down to the Javelins and the ADATs. There's quite a few of them, right? And I think I put a fighter up temporarily. I might not have done. So yeah, these tank hunters should have been hidden behind the buildings. I'm panicking at this point. And I realised that, you know, what he's done has basically still worked, even though I did my best to sort of stop the trades and so on. Because now he's got more stuff than me. So I do try attacking here, but, you know, the micro's not really there. I need to play the div more and you know, learn. Obviously, it's a lot easier to play the same division 300 times in a row than it is to play a new div constantly. But yeah, it's still, you know, sort of small mistakes like that. Although, yeah, that Totu got me, so... So this ADATS was revealed. That must have been the thing that shot the Eagle, right? And I'm trying to hit the mortar because the mortar's doing the smoking. And yeah, so I'm trying to like counter push everywhere, but my micro's just not there. I think, yeah, so I had a CV in here. Is it dark? Yeah, so I had a CV here and it got one shot by the Dragon 2 because it was counted as a side shot for some reason. Because like, I don't know. I mean, I think he shot me from like over here or something. So yeah, I guess the side shot angle's kind of narrow, and you can't really turn into it because of this. So yeah, I could have had that zone, and that would have slowed. Well, I suppose he's got something here, but yeah, I didn't realize there was nobody here. I could have just pushed this up, but the helicopters come around. So yeah, I am trying to push here, but I can't. Oh, I did actually. It says the Eric's is reloading actually, but it's weird. I guess he must have moved backwards or something because he's obviously not in range now. But I'm losing the Eric's. Oh no, it does actually shoot. So it just missed twice in a row and then died, I guess, so that's a shame. But yeah, that AT plane really messed me up. I switched it out for the cluster, and so I'm like, okay, so now he's got that one. He's on a +1, but I've been on a +1 for 30 minutes, so he needs more. Because a +1 for 30 minutes apparently gives you that many points. So I figure he's he's not coming for this because he knows how much stuff I have there. So he's probably coming for this one. So I start swinging all the stuff over. You see, hiding the guys behind the buildings is very, very important. Sadly, we missed that second one, so he actually survives. But I could have, like, you know, come around this way, or I could have jumped in the building. Oh, no, okay, I get him. And yeah, I'm trying to get these Bradleys. I could have jumped in the building there for a bit of protection. I'm trying to get, you know, units into here, units into here. I should have rotated more out of this or pushed harder here, but dealing with the HA Abrams is something I can't really do. So yeah, this CV's doing a bit of work. He's got the Apache up, so I need some AA. So I bring the Sky Guards as well for the infantry. You know, people say like 3rd Armoured doesn't get enough infantry. I mean, it clearly gets enough. You just got to be careful with it. So I'm trying to move the Leopard 1s over, but I don't really have recon, and I guess that's where my mortar was, presumably. Something must have been there. So I'm just stacking this now with the infantry. I've got reserves, which are sort of like Terriers, except better, because they get 2 MGs. They're the same price. Oh no, because Terriers aren't actually classed as reservists. Anyway, this misses a little bit. So he doesn't actually get me there. But he does get the Leopard C1 with the other one. But I have to back now because, yeah, so sadly he did some surviving. I have to back now because I don't want him to kill me. So I bring in the other one. We both got 40% ECM. We've actually both got very similar loadouts. Oh no, mine's got more range actually. But yeah, we get him with the ADATS, Sky Guards, 2 planes, 3rd ADATS combo. So there you go. They do die if you throw enough crap at them. But yeah, there you go. Look, a dragon. These dragon teams killing these leopards just because it's hard to micro everything. So yeah, what I should be doing is doing a proper counterattack here, but I just can't manage it. I've bought all my infantry and put it in here, and I'm just like on full defense. I figure rather than just throw, you know, I should focus on the defense. I did an attack here and it didn't work, you know. I tried an attack here and it ran into this Bradley, which is actually still alive. So I'd have to like micro a bit better and go take it out. But I'm looking at this. I don't want to lose this. So yeah, the Toe 2's one-shot in the Leopard 1s, right? It's kind of a tough Leopard 1 into Bradley matchup because the Bradley's cheaper and it will actually survive the hit, and then it will kill you. So I'm trying to move up the ADATs because it's actually got more range. It's got 2,800 meters range, so I've turned off cover so it doesn't go in here. And then I figure I'd just shoot down the road. So I send out the Electric Voodoo and the cluster. So this is the cheap cluster, right? If it was the good cluster, that'd die. I would have killed it twice by now, but I use the AT plane. The AT plane doesn't work. So the Voodoo doesn't have radar on it. It's just ECM. So I'm just sending it out just to soak hits, basically. So yeah, now I'm trying to send this up, but my infantry died, and he's actually still got a bunch of shit here. He was just healing it all, so... And yeah, at this point I'm forgetting to move my ADATs. So he's hitting my ADATs there, and these are 200 points. I can't really afford to lose them. And that one's been stunned up, but he actually gets me there. This one's out of ammo. Remember, we did try and kill it before, so we're losing ADATs, which is not great. That cluster thing is really... Whoa, the AT plane. I don't know, people keep telling me it's OP. I mean, what, it doesn't shoot at tanks? It's anti-tank, doesn't shoot at the tank. I mean, so yeah, I swapped it out for the good cluster now. And at this point, I'm sort of panicking a bit. At this point, I'm buying the air because, you know, I've got the points, not much else to spend it on because I'm out of infantry, which is pretty funny against 3rd Armoured. He's run out of infantry. But yeah, I'm not moving these, which is dumb. So I'm going for that CV, I drop the bombs, and it doesn't kill it because that's the HE one. So he's just got a bunch of low HP CV tanks running around that I can't finish off. So still just keeping the Voodoo around just to soak shots. It's got 50% ECM, it's cheap enough, and it... Anyway, then I come for this guy. I've got first shot advantage, so I should win, really, but we both don't hit each other, which does happen. And then he gets my ADATs, and then I think the Stinger hit me. So I'm just trying to keep him back. He is on the +1, right? I just didn't factor this into it. I thought he was just doing 1 push here. He's actually doing 2. So I should have... Because I did have a mech rifles in here, but I moved him forwards, and now, like, so a bunch of these guys should have been rotated out, basically. First of all, they should have been healed. And then, like, just 2 of these in here, because now he's getting through. So I shoot him in the back, and I one-shot him, because that's how that works. Sadly, we don't get the HA, but we did get that one. Now he's got to be a bit more careful. I think he's going on that mortar, but, you know, it doesn't really matter. And so he's realised he's now got 3 CV tanks here because I'm not killing them. They're all surviving. So I'm going on this HA Abrams, but I have to do the whole tourney thing. And yet this is in a really shit spot because the HA will kill me. So, but there's guys coming over here with AT. So like, what do? He's just dead. What I should have done is smoked with this, and then I would have been all right. Anyway, this has 40%. No, it's a 10% ECM one. Anyway, price of this needs to go up a bit since they made the Sparrows have mega range because it is very, very cost effective. Or did it? Was it 175 last patch? I can't remember. Anyway, he's come through here now and he's got plenty of these to throw around, right? He's still on that +1. Trying to hit this, but we miss, right? Because he was low cohesion, so I think that would have been a side shot. But he is missing me as well because he's low cohesion. So he's got kind of bad accuracy. But we're dealing 1 damage a shot. Eventually he's going to hit me, but he wusses out first. I guess because he figured a plane would be coming, and that was kind of the idea. So he gets in here. I'm shooting him with these reserves, but they've just got laws. And imagine if I still had some Erics, right? So we hit him with the cluster, but it doesn't kill him. Oh dear. So I'm trying to move this one up because he's got the Carl Gustav, but I pussy out. I would have got him, actually. That's a shame. Yeah, so he's getting the CVs up. We're trying to get people in here. He's got some, like, flash in there. These AT planes can't shoot the tanks. The reserves are firing all their laws, but it's not killing them. So as long as he's just repairing them, which is clearly what he's doing, they'll be alright. The Eagle wins the fight that time, I guess. And then gets the HE one. At least he doesn't kill me on my way out. So I've just got like full plane tab now. I did actually hit that, but this only deals 4 damage, so he survived. And I'm trying to get this thing, but he gets me with the first missile and the second missile there, which is really bad news because if that hadn't happened, would have got that. So he's going to get in here. I was feeling very unlucky this game, but that's life. Get the AT plane on him, AT helo on him, and that kills light armored stuff. It just can't shoot this. Then the Eagle goes in on that, but I mean, it can't do anything against this other stuff. At this point, I actually have a full plane tab, and I bought these Silver Star rockets, which was a mistake. I could have bought something more useful. And these guys are just in here, and I can't kill them. So he's trying to hit this with the RT, he figures it's in this corner somewhere. I mean, he's not wrong. That got the Bradley. Shoot the rockets at these, doesn't do a whole lot, but I mean, it's a nice cheap thing. And then, yeah, the cluster comes in behind that, and it gets him, but he's got another, he's got another command. 2 minutes left, he's on a +2, and it'll stay a +2, and this one's coming in here, because I moved up that mech rifles. I should have kept it in here. So I've got nothing for this, I can't see him. I'm using the clusters on the infantry, because if he kills this, then obviously we're doomed, right? And these reload in a minute, so, you know, the fact that it doesn't kill him in one hit is probably a good thing. Anyway, this got hit by something. I don't know what it was. It might have been the rockets from this. But he sees this guy because I didn't hide him well enough. I could have hidden him better, but with where the right click is on this, I'd have to basically right click over here and then manually stop him. So he got me there. So he's on a +4. He's moving up the dragon to here. I don't know. I can't see him, right? I'm trying to send this over just so I can see him, but this thing, you know, is obviously out of ammo and there's a hog there as well. So he takes that out. But yeah, I should have, more of this should have been rotated round to here, basically. So he's on a +4 now, and it'll be a +5 in a second. There's only 1 minute left. Yeah, so where does he go from here? It has to be Bravo Alpha, right? But I'm out of everything, basically. That he missed, but then he hit it with the AT4, because I moved it from here because I knew he was coming for it, and so I moved it there, but he had AT, so it's good micro from him. The Voodoo, he's actually actively not trying to kill it. He's just trying to go past it to hit these planes. So I'm trying to get that. Eagle's coming around. Eagle gets hit by the ADATs, but I can't actually see him. So I missed there. He obliges me by driving into it, but it doesn't make a difference. So he's on a +5 with 20 seconds left. But it's going to be more. It's going to be a +7, but there's just not enough time, basically. So that's game. So there you go. You know, you get these people who will like take Urban Frontlines out, buff heavy tanks, and they're just sort of completely full of shit, basically. I mean, it's okay to be wrong, but if you just sort of let them be wrong all the time and don't tell them they're wrong, then you just start listening to them. So that's how we ended up with this dumb ranked seasons thing where we have like 5 maps in rotation all the time. It might be 7. So there you go. Skate rank. He's rank 4 now. He was rank 5. He was rank 3 when we played, and he's had 234 games of ranked as 3rd armored this season. So yeah, I fear not the man who practices 1,000 kicks one time, which is me, I guess, although mainly NATO. I fear the man who practices severe mental depression by playing 3rd armored over and over again. I think that's a Bruce Lee quote. So yeah, I thought it was a pretty interesting game. I thought it was worth sharing. But yeah, you can see how to play it from both sides. The 3rd armored player wants to just take the trades and just remember it's a 40-minute game, right? And the Canadian player, or whoever else, wants to not lose the trades and push everywhere without dying, which is very difficult to do. So I had my moment. I kind of missed it, you know, on that point on the left. That CV was about to get in, but that dragon hit me, and it one-shot me. So it was like a side shot, which I just didn't expect it to be, otherwise I would have smoked. So if that hadn't happened, it would have been a more convincing win, because I would have held on to that point for a couple of minutes. I would have been like 1,200 or whatever. But either way, the KD was pretty similar, all things considered, and I'm pretty proud of that one. But map's better for me, but, you know, I haven't played 239 games as Canada, so I'll see you around. GG.